What up, y'all? Nature Girl 30 here. And if I sound like, well, number one, my allergies are like this, but if I sound like I'm in a less than summer mood, it's pretty much because Florence is decimating the entire Carolina coast as well as the coast of Virginia. And it's not a great day. And my prayers definitely go out to my homeboy Laurel. I'm glad I talked to you yesterday. I'm glad you're safe. Also, my really dear friend Ken. I'm happy that he's nowhere near the storm in Virginia. I'm happy that you're safe. And for all those that decided to stay and we just wait it out and on in the Carolina coast as well as in Virginia, I'm not sure why you did, but my prayers go out to you for your safety because this is one scary storm. And honestly, and I'm actually in a different place too. I'm nowhere near it at this point, but it's not really a great day. But to get my mind off of this wretched thing, I've decided to actually do predictions video about Hell in a Cell. Yeah, and it's kind of funny in Hell in a Cell with this day. But anyway, I'm not going to do that. But anyway, I'm going to actually do a predictions video of Hell in a Cell. And hopefully this will be a good pay-per-view because I am planning on watching it. But anyway, y'all, they didn't really have, and I'm actually going by what's on WWE.com at the moment. They don't have a listing of what's going to be on the pre-show. So I'm going to make my own predictions of what's going to be on the pre-show and which I think should be on the pre-show. And I definitely think that Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella versus The Miz and Maurice should be on the pre-show. So I'm going to put that up first. I love Brie. I love The Miz. The fact you have your wives in it, especially that one of your wives, well, both of them have a lot of ring rust. I don't think this is going to be a grade A match, even though you have the husbands in it that has been wrestling for a while. So honestly, I really do think that it's going to be on a pre-show. But who I think is going to win, of course, Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan, hands down, no doubt. So it's really no point and to go into any further predictions about that. So definitely Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella for the win. The second match is going to be on the pre-show if they have two matches. Honestly, I don't think they should put anything else on there. Well, yeah, I know that Jeff Hardy won't be. But anyway, the second match that I think should be on there, oh gosh, I hate to say this because I love Rusev Day so much. It's the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, The New Day versus Rusev and Aiden English. I don't know why they don't call him Rusev Day, which lets me know that Aiden English and Rusev will not win because somehow Aiden English is going to go heel and he's going to go against Rusev. So I don't really see them as actually staying together. So that's why they separated their names. At least that's in my personal opinion. But anyway, who do I think will win? Of course, The New Day, because Aiden English is going to go heel and he's going to split them up. So we're not going to have any more Rusev Day. Aiden English is going to go out on his own. Rusev's going to be by himself, even if, in my opinion, that's not going to do any harm for Rusev. But Aiden English, I don't know what that's going to do for him down the line. But, of course, The New Day will win. Will still retain their tag team titles. Now let's go on to the main card. Okay, the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this first because in my humble opinion, this is going to be the match of the night. And I don't really know why they're doing this twice. Probably because over promotion. They're doing this actually on the Super Show in Australia. They're doing this twice, so I don't know why. And since they're saying that Charlotte Flair, the women's champion against Becky Lynch, lets me know that Becky Lynch is not going to win here. Charlotte's going to probably be a champion leading on up to WrestleMania, but it doesn't make any sense for her to go against Ronda Rousey since she's on Raw and she's a champion. So that's kind of thrown out the window. It's going to probably be a champion versus championship match or a champion versus champion match. But honestly, in my humble opinion, this should really go to Becky. Becky has been pushed far too much. And the fact that she's now, and I guess you consider her somewhat of an anti-hero, she should get the title. This should be her night. Honestly, in my opinion, WrestleMania should be her night. But this should be her night as well. But I really do believe that they're going to keep it on Charlotte. And I don't know why. But unfortunately, as much as I love the Queen, and I love the Last Kicker even more right now, but I love the Queen too. But I think that she's going to keep it here. She's going to remain on the throne. So Charlotte for the win. I hope I'm wrong. But I think if she wins, they'll be making a very big mistake. Unless they have future plans for him. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on to the Raw Women's Championship with Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss. Oh gosh, this is going to be a very one-sided, very boring match. Don't get it twisted. Alexa Bliss is average in the ring, but she's only as good as her opponent. In my humble opinion, she is like the Randy Orton of the women's division. She can definitely bring her A game depending on who she wrestles against. But unfortunately, when she wrestled against somebody top-notch as Charlotte, it kind of exposed her average abilities in the ring. But, I'm sorry, she's far better than Carmella. But, of course, Alexa Bliss is not in any way, shape, or form going to keep her, going to get the title back. It's going to be Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey is going to dominate. It's going to be like good. It's going to be like somebody wrestling a crocodile. It's going to be like Alexa Bliss versus a croc. I would say gator, but I'm like, nah. But anyway, because I'm not going to go into further detail, but let's just say this. Ronda Rousey is going to annihilate Alexa Bliss and keep her title. So Ronda Rousey for the win. No point in going any further. Alright, let's move on to the Raw Tag Team Championships with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. I'm really hoping that the Shield actually wins this. I'm hoping that the Shield will be a dominant faction. They're trying to make them heels now. I think that's a mistake. They were better off being anti-heroes, but for some reason it has to be either white or black with Vince. I don't know why, but instead of it being gray, it should be white or black. But in my opinion, if Dean and Seth wins, especially Dean making his return with a whole new aggressive character, it will be great for him to be the tag team champ with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins still holding the IC belt. And then you have Roman Reigns, of course, who's a Universal Champion. That would be awesome. What good will it do for Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre? Because Dolph is holding Drew back. I don't know why they're trying to make him into a faction with Braun Strowman. But in my opinion, I'm gonna go on the dangerous side here. I'm gonna say that Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose for the win, because it would make sense. It would be a dominant faction if they all had the titles. You got Seth being the tag team champion as well as the IC champion, and then you got Roman Reigns as holding the top belt. It's a win. It's more money for them. So in my opinion, it would be Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose for the win. Screw Dolph, and hopefully Drew can get a better push without that guy. But anyway, moving on to the WWE Championship match with Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles, who happens to be the champion. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This was a very creepy feud. I was pretty much disturbed by it. I was more disturbed when you had the daughter down there at SummerSlam. It was very disturbing. That little girl was terrified. I think it was a horrible mistake. But the whole "Hey Wendy" is now becoming a trend. So of course Samoa Joe has to keep this up. So honestly, I don't see Joe winning, even though Joe is being pushed heavily behind the scenes. It would make sense for Samoa Joe to win and beat AJ. I like AJ. He is a true blue babyface right now. But I would like something different. I want to see Samoa Joe be a dominant heel champion. And as much as I would love to see him win now, I don't see him winning it here. So I see that AJ Styles is going to be the champion on down to WrestleMania, when it's going to be a completely new reset. Because you got to remember, when WWE 2K19 is coming out, he's on the front and he's a champ. They're going to probably roll this all the way down to WrestleMania, so it could be a completely new reset. And that's usually when the reset starts, is after WrestleMania, because that's a whole new year. So with 2K19 being in the books, you'll have 2K20 to have to deal with, or whatever they're going to call it. So they'll have a whole new person up front. So it would make sense for him to go all the way through to WrestleMania, so he'll drop the belt there. So I see that AJ Styles is going to remain champion in this pay-per-view. So that's my vote there. Alright, let's go to the Hell in a Cell matches. The first one that I will talk about is Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. The most eyeball, one-sided feud I've ever seen in my life. Don't get it twisted. Randy Orton he kind of channeled his inner creepy. I'm not going to make any jokes about shaking hands here, but he channeled his inner creepy towards Jeff Hardy. But Jeff Hardy, no way will win this because he is injured enough. I don't want to see him jump off a cell. I don't want to see him injured anymore. I don't want to see him die. I want him to live a healthy life with his family, see his kids grow up. I want him to be okay. And as much as Randy annoys me sometimes, I kind of do like aggressive Randy, but I don't like creepy Randy. Creepy Randy is kind of off-putting, but aggressive Randy is like, yeah. But honestly, I want to see Randy Orton win this because I don't want Jeff Hardy to die. I don't want him to kill himself. So my vote goes to Randy Orton for the win. Please, Jeff, don't die. Please don't die on me. But anyway, let's go to the main event. The Universal Championship match with Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Hell in a Cell is a Hell in a Cell match with Mick Foley as special guest referee. Okay, I love Mick Foley, but I, to this day, cringe at that Hell in a Cell toss-off. I saw that match when it first came out, when it first started. I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead. And I know that Mick Foley doesn't have it in him to do anything spectacular anymore. I really hope he's not going to break out the thumbtacks out. He's not going to do all that crazy stuff because his bones can't take it. But honestly, with Roman Reigns, they're already saying that Roman Reigns is going to remain champion. And Braun Strowman's going to make that cash in. But here's my gripe with this. Braun Strowman was the monster in the bank. They have done it like for an entire year. They have made this dude a monster, and then they made him into a complete pussycat when they teamed him up with a child. A 10-year-old child named Nicholas. That was the stupidest thing I have ever seen in my life. It downgraded him as a monster to a complete pet. That's pretty much what he became. Then they had to fight to get him back into being a monster again. Then they decided to make him a heel. And then they gave him the Money in the Bank briefcase, which should have excelled his career further. But now it's going to downgrade it because he's going to lose to Roman Reigns. Because they want Roman Reigns to remain champion. I don't see this as a win for either guy. The one thing I can say is if they keep the Shield on and they have the Shield remain dominant to have all the championships, then sure, it will be a plus for Roman Reigns because he'll be with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. But if he's by himself, it will be a complete lose. It'll be a huge, huge waste of time. With Braun Strowman, it'll be even worse waste of time. And I hate to say it, it's not a win-win for him whatsoever. He won the Money in the Bank briefcase, but you have, 3 people that have lost it. You can't really count John Cena. But the 2 people that you can count is definitely, oh gosh, my brain just kind of shut off for a second. Is definitely Baron Corbin. That you can actually count Baron Corbin, even though I can't stand the guy, and they should have given to him in the first place, but it didn't really do much for his career. It kind of made it just go downhill from there. And also, you got Damian Sandow, who everyone was rooting for, that ended up losing the Money in the Bank briefcase. It damaged their careers. They didn't go up from there. And you can probably say, well, he's commissioner, but he's a joke. And even though that Baron Corbin, as much as I don't like him, his career tanked after that. And Braun Strowman, he has a lot going for him. It's gonna plateau. It's not gonna sink, and it's not gonna sink to the point where it's about to die and drown out like Baron Corbin and Damian Sandow. But unfortunately, it's gonna plateau. It's not gonna peak. It's not gonna sink. It's gonna be in the middle. And Braun Strowman deserves to have more than that. And that's the sad part about all this. He is not going to excel at all if he loses that briefcase. But I see him doing it because of who he's fighting against. Roman has too much backing behind the scenes, mainly because Vince dumped far too much money into him, and he's going to get his money back regardless. He doesn't care what the crowd thinks. He doesn't care what anybody says. He's getting his money back, period. So unfortunately, we are going to have to see Roman Reigns be champion, holding that licorice belt in the air. And he will be the champion. He will beat the monster among men, which I don't think is a good idea. You need to put it on Braun. You need to put it on Braun. You really do. If you want to make Roman Reigns a babyface, have his brothers go against him. They're planning on breaking up the Shield anyway. So it would make sense for Roman Reigns to lose here so he could be the true babyface that Vince McMahon really wants him to be. Have Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose go against him because they have all the belts and he has nothing. Do that. It makes sense. Survival of the fittest makes sense. But have Braun Strowman defeat him and take the title, then have him win again at WrestleMania. Do that. But I have a gut feeling that they're going to go against that and they're going to have Roman win. So I hate to say it, but my vote is for Roman Reigns for the win. All right, guys. I think that is all the matches to talk about here. They might add a few in at the pay per view, but after that, I'll probably talk about it a little bit later. But other than that, y'all, I am done here. I will see y'all later. And for those who are still on the coast, my prayers go out to you. Peace out.